Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts with a little boxing of the offline product gamer review. This is a Hat in Time for the PlayStation 4. To jump right into it, this physical copy here comes with the update version 1.05 right on the disc, as well as that at the time making this video there were no updates available. As well as that this physical copy comes with the DLC Sealed the Deal right on the disc, but sadly the second DLC, Nazuki Metro, is not on the disc. This is only accessible if you go to the PlayStation Store and purchase it. Nor was there a redeem code either, so once you buy a brand new copy, you won't be able to get the Metro DLC either. You have to purchase it at the PlayStation Store. So that's highly disappointing. But at least the Seal the Deal is right on the disc, as well as that this is the most updated version of the game. So that's a huge bonus there as well. Like always, I did play the entire game offline with an unregistered account, and I didn't experience any game-breaking bugs or issues throughout the entire time I was played it. It was a flawless, smooth operation for me, and it was quite enjoyable. But sadly, I did experience one issue, and that is that I didn't unlock a single trophy throughout the entire time I played this game. I'm assuming this has to do with the fact I'm playing with an unregistered account. Now, this isn't game-breaking or a big issue, but it is disappointing and is one of those noteworthy reasons why we do these tests of offline with an unregistered account. Unlocking trophies is not going to make a game unplayable or breaks the game, but it is something to note down to point out that if you're not playing with a registered account, if you're a trophy hunter, you will not be able to unlock any trophies. Now, as I said, this is the PS4 version. There is a Nintendo Switch version, but sadly now that the PS4 version got a physical copy like this is the most superior version and the most updated version of a Hat in Time. This comes, like I said, with the Seal the Deal DLC, its most updated version, as well as this has the ability to unlock 30 frames per second and 60 frames per second. Now, I'm not a person to go around saying that a game at 30 frames per second is garbage and you shouldn't play it, or it's unbearably choppy, but I am realistic. I do acknowledge that I would prefer games focus on 60 frames per second because the experience is a lot smoother. So it was really nice that this game has that update or that feature in the options. Just please keep in mind when you first start up the game, it automatically is set at 30 frames per second. You will have to go to the options and set it to 60 frames per second. Just a little heads up on there. Like I said though, this is not the first time I played Hat in Time. Hat in Time is a phenomenal 3D classic platformer. It's probably one of the best in recent years, if not, so I might be bold to say, the all-time one of the best of the 3D platformers. It's the saddest part about the game is that it's not a very long game. Even with the added Seal the Deal DLC, it doesn't ultimately extend the life of the game very much. The only thing it really does is the Seal the Deal adds another chapter, which is a very small chapter, which will involve you on a boat, as well as that you have the deal side with the contractor, which will basically run through all the same missions all over again somewhat, but now they're more harder and they got bonus challenges. Now those challenges start getting quite hard pretty quickly, so it may not be the most for anybody who's not the most experienced at platformers, but at least it gives them a lot more content. So the overall experience was phenomenal. I've already talked about Hat in Time when I first played it on the Switch, and it's a blast. It's one of my most favorite games on the PS4. It's a must-own in my personal opinion, especially now if you can pick it up on the PlayStation 5. It's just a phenomenal game. Great characters. Throughout the entire time, I loved every single character in this game. Hat Girl is a phenomenally cute and just adorable character. I've always talked about that. I love super cute things and I love super dark things, so I don't mind it going super cute and adorable like Hat Girl is. It's just a phenomenal game, and I can't really praise this game enough. It's got great music, great mechanics, good gameplay, and just overall, just the atmosphere and design is all very well done. The only bad thing is that it's over too quickly. You want to see more of these characters. You want to play more of a Hat Girl. You want to unlock more stuff and get more hats, more abilities, more badges. All of these things was just phenomenal progression, and you never want it to end, and that's a good sign in the game. The only thing you're probably going to be noticed if you've never played it is that it might feel a little weird when you first play it because the game kind of works with an open world aspect where you pick a level and you kind of explore it, but each area is kind of like a quest, and you pick that quest and you can still explore wherever you want, but when you pick that level, it's kind of like, hey, you're in this open world, but this is the quest you're wanting to do at this point. It's kind of different. It's not like a huge open world design, which is one of my favorites. Is that a smaller world, which is probably why I like Hat in Time so much, where they focused on more making each little world phenomenal and adding this packed in as much as they could in such a small area, while making the quests and journeys and characters and music all phenomenally well done. I can't praise this game enough. I've talked about it a whole bunch on the Nintendo Switch, and I mean, again, this is a phenomenal pickup. Like I said, I would love nothing more to see this game get another physical copy with the named PlayStation 5 version, hopefully with every DLC and updates like this one on the disc, or sequel. I really hope for a sequel, and I hope they play within the joke of the sequel. I'm sure the development's way into progress now, but just like acknowledge that, make a joke about the sequel, like Hat Girl is doing all the same stuff all over again, but now she's got 2 top hats on her head. She's extra fancy. I would have found that hilarious. But the only bad thing about this game, and I have to emphasize on it, is that if you're trying to pick this up and it advertises that it has co-op, do not buy this game for co-op. The co-op is some of the worst co-op I've ever seen in design, where it's not like a split screen. You all share the same screen, and this isn't usually a problem, but the problem is that the camera really only focuses on player 1. So the player 2 is basically being dragged around everywhere. Player 2 cannot control the camera, but player 2 can change their hat as well as pause the games, which if you're playing with a younger kid, this can make the progress very frustrating. And as I said, your second player is going to be dragged around all over the place. Highly disappointed on the second player design. I don't know why they chose to do it the way they did it. The only thing that I can think of why they chose not to have just typical split screen, or just a better design in terms of how the camera focuses on both characters, is that I think they went this way. I don't know how else to say it. I think they went this way because of the Switch. I don't think the Switch was probably strong enough or had the capability to run 2 characters split screen running around. And so therefore they had to sacrifice a certain design, and it affected all the games like PS4, PC. I think there's a mod on the PC to give it actual true split screen, but PlayStation 4 does not have that. So do not pick this up for split screen. That is just the worst part of this game. That I do not recommend it, which is very disappointing. I can see this game being very fun to play with your niece or your son, or just relationships. It'd be a fun little game. And the second character is extremely cute. It's a little black girl named. I don't know if she has a name. I'm sorry, I don't really know her name. But I wish you could have actually switched the main character between her. I probably would have played her a little bit because she is adorable. And I wish you could probably had the option. Maybe there is an option. I just didn't notice it. But I wish there was a little more option in that. That would have been really cool. But even if that, I still highly recommend to pick this game up. I don't know what it's going for right now, but even with the missing DLC, this is a phenomenal pickup for your physical collection, especially if you love super cute and super adorable characters, as well as if you love 3D platformers like I do. I mean, I can't praise this game enough. Even if, let's say, the only thing I have is the Nintendo Switch, I still recommend the Switch version. Even though I think it runs at 30 frames per second, and the graphic fidelity is reduced, and it doesn't come with the sealed DLC on the cartridge, it's still a phenomenally good time. It's just a very short game. That's the co-op and the length of the game. It's the only 2 gripes you probably could give this game. Camera control could be a little wonky a little bit here and there, but you kind of get used to it after a while. But I mean, I don't know. I love this game. I love playing through it. I would gladly run through this game all over again on PlayStation 5. And like I said, I played the entire thing offline with no updates because there wasn't any updates available. And I didn't experience any issues, no frame rate drops, no bugs, no issues. I think I saw some minor graphical issues, but I can't remember if that was like that all the time or it's just, again, it's a smaller indie studio, and I think they only have 2 games under their belt, so they don't really have a whole lot of experience. But for this one game of Hat in Time, they nailed it out of the park. To step in and create one of the greatest 3D platformers is quite an achievement. They're almost outclassing Mario Odyssey. Even Mario Odyssey is a phenomenally good game, and I loved that game when I played it. But I have to say, Hat in Time is phenomenally better than Mario Odyssey. But man, I'm so glad to play this game, and I'm glad it ran great on my PlayStation 5, and I'll still constantly recommend it to anyone and everyone if you love these kinds of games like I do. So like always, I try to leave links on the description if you're interested to copy. As I said, no issues, no problems playing it on PS5, other than, like I said, I didn't unlock a single trophy. I'm assuming that's because I was playing with an unregistered account, as well as that the co-op is just avoid it. It's not fun at all trying to wrestle with the camera controls. The second player, if you're playing with anybody who's not like a toddler level, like somebody who's not knowing what's going on, they're not going to have fun. The second player is not going to have enjoyment out of this. So in my end, I still highly recommend it, even if you get the Switch version. That's the only version you got, because that's the only console you have. So again, thank you all so much for watching. I'm so glad to cover these video games. I've been waiting to cover them on my PS5, and I'm glad a lot of them are coming out perfect for me. So again, thank you all so much for watching my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next unboxing video. Bye bye.